15. 9. 31. 10. During that year the land enjoyed a complete rest, or release, lying uncultivated. X 23. 11. There was also to be a rest, or a release, on debts incurred. It was a release to Jehovah, in honor of him. Though others view it differently, some commentators hold that the debts were not actually cancelled, but, rather, that a creditor was not to press a fellow Hebrew for payment of a debt, for there would be no income for the farmer during that year. Though the lender could press a foreigner for payment. 15. 1-3 Some rabbis hold the view that debts for loans of charity to help a poor brother were cancelled, but that debts incurred in business dealings were in a different category. It is said by them that, in the 1st century of the Common Era, Hillel instituted a procedure whereby the lender could go before the court and secure textui acute miritra longo. Sabines 834 demonstrate faith and obedience by waiting until the harvest of the 8th year, and by God's blessing they survived. Every year of release, during the festival of booths, all the people were to assemble, men and women, little ones and the alien residents, to hear the law read. 31. 10-13. The land would have enjoyed 121 Sabbath years besides 17 Jubilee years prior to the exile if Israel had kept the law properly. But the Sabbath years were only partially kept. When the people went into exile in Babylon, the land remained desolate for 70 years until the land had paid off its Sabbaths. 2ch 36. 20, 21. 26. 34, 35, 43. Nowhere do the scriptures state that the Jews had failed to keep exactly 70 Sabbath years. But Jehovah let 70 years of enforced desolation of the land make up for all the Sabbath years that had not been kept. Sabines Samiddle.Bans. 1. The designation of a band of raiders who attacked the property of Job of the land of Uz. These Sabines took Job's cattle and she-asses and slaughtered his attendants. Job 1. 14. 15. Job also mentions the traveling company of Sabines, at Job 6. 19. It is difficult to identify with certainty these Sabines, since they might have been descendants of a number of different men named Sheba. Abraham's son Jokshan had a son named Sheba Ge 25. 1-3, and the possibility of the Sabine raiders being from this line cannot be ruled out. However, scholars more commonly suggest that the Sabines came through the Sheba who descended from Ham through Cush Ge 10. 6, 7 or Sheba the son of Joktan in Shem's line. Ge 10. 21-29. 2. Et al. People linked in Isaiah 45. 14 with laborers of Egypt and merchants of Ethiopia as ones who would recognize Jehovah and his people. Isaiah 43. 3 also associates Egypt and Ethiopia but, instead of Sabines, uses Seba, indicating that the men of Seba were called Sabines. See Seba no. 2. 3. The descendants of Sheba, whether of the line of Shem or of Ham, is uncertain, who evidently formed a kingdom near the tip of the Arabian Peninsula. Likely the queen of Sheba who visited Solomon was from this land. 1 Kai 10. 1 Secular sources often refer to this kingdom as Sabine, and the Bible may do likewise. See Sheba no. 6. Certain translations read Sabines at Ezekiel 23. 42 KJ, Ig, Da, so interpreting the marginal reading in the Hebrew Bible. However, the main text reads drunkards, and that is how modern translations frequently render the verse. Ro, NW, as, RS. Sabta. The son of Cush and brother of Nimrod. Progenitor of one of the 70 post-flood families. Ge 10. 7, 8, 32. 1 Ch 1. 9, 10 Sabta's descendants apparently settled in southern Arabia, perhaps in one of the places later bearing a name similar to his. Sabta, the ancient capital of Hadramaut, has been suggested, and Ptolemy mentions a town called Sabta near the Persian Gulf, but any connection of these places with Sabta remains uncertain. Sabteka Sabta Middle. 5th named son of Cush and father of one of the 70 post-flood families. Ge 10. 7, 32. 1 Ch 1. 9 His descendants likely settled in southern Arabia or perhaps Ethiopia, the exact location being unknown. Sakasaka wages. 1. Hararite, father of David's warrior hymn. 1 Ch 11. 26, 35 Sakar is called Sharia 2 Samuel 23. 33. 2. The fourth son of Obed-Edom and one of the gatekeepers during David's reign. 1 Ch 26. 1, 4. Sachiasa Middle.Kaya. The head of a paternal house in the tribe of Benjamin. Son of Shaharaim by his wife Hodesh. 1 Ch 8. 1, 8-10. Sack. Sea bag. Sackcloth. A coarse cloth used in making sacks, or bags, such as those for containing grain. It was usually woven from goat's hair of a dark color. Re 6. 12. Issa 50. 3. The Hebrew word for sackcloth sack is used also to designate the bags made from it. Ge 42. 25. Jos 9. 4. It was the traditional garment of mourning, and we